morning and welcome to episode 772 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We got Mark, Pat, Wes, and I'm Will. And today we're talking some General Milley, some RIP Norm Macdonald, sperm injections, a missing persons case, and then Pat, where are we going in the international?
Oh, bro, we're going to Finland. We're going to the Arctic. We're going to Mexico. So you're just gonna just get your passport ready. Might want to wear comfortable pants.
Yeah, you got to bring a whole mess of outfits. When you got tropical, you got freezing. Oof, big bag. Got to pack a big bag.
At least 8 pairs of underwear, of which you will only wear 2 if you travel like me.
Really?
Oh, really?
I go through underwear like crazy.
Yeah,
I always feel like I bring too little underwear.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a 2-a-day guy on vacation.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a moment where I'm like, oh shit, I probably didn't bring enough underwear.
I overpack them now.
That
I
was
bring
until
10.
until bird dogs, guys. It was 2 underwears a day until
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That saves you on the underwear.
Well, this just shows you underwear, tendencies really vary man to man.
It's a vicious cycle over here too, because then you come home with a half dirty, half clean bag, and then you're unsure which is dirty, which is clean, and then
you don't go with the laundry bag?
You got it. Yeah, I bring like a trash
laundry bag
bag.
it?
I bring like the
No
trash
system?
bag.
No system?
No system? Yeah, into the
You throw the dirties right back in with the cleans.
You animal.
man,
Yeah.
I make them pick a side, but that's about it.
Oh
you know?
man.
I put them in a bag.
So they're just all mingling together, marinating all flight.
Yeah, man.
I guess
Get to know each other.
I guess the separating them is a 2 underwear a day guy problem. Okay.
It's gonna get ripe.
Yeah.
Because I'm busy having fun. You guys are busy worrying about how organized your bag
Oh,
is.
I'm busy. I'm busy segregating the underwear from the rest of the bag because I had too much fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those
Stinky
underwear are in trouble.
Yeah.
They've seen some shit.
Smell my underwear and tell me I didn't have fun.
I don't know. Did I? Why don't you come over here?
If an ass as itchy as mine, I need at least 12 pair.
New merch in the Hard Factor store. Cup of coffee in the big time mug, plus the fall line. Wes, what's in the fall line?
Well, we got the one shirt definitely coming out. Probably gonna release a kind of a Run DMC with fall colors for Fat Boy / Fit Boy Fall. And then Pat finished the half pack with Wes as well, which is going to be coming out soon too.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at
man, beaubeaual logo.
Can't wear that around my son.
Nope.
What if I get that shirt
it's
and I'm
glorious.
around your son?
Yeah, that'll
is
be
great.
dangerous too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one still and just keep it for the weeks he's not here.
Yeah, there you go.
Store.hardfactor.com to get in on that sweet action. Follow at Hard Factor News on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Subscribe and download wherever podcasts are free, and go to patreon.com/hardfactor for bonus shows if you want more on top of the daily news podcast.
Just, I don't want to toot my own horn, but this is easily the best T-shirt I've ever designed. Sorry to bring it back up. I
It's
mean,
great.
I'm feeling real good about it.
It's really good.
You know what it looks like? It looks
Fantastic.
like camel, obviously.
What?
But fall camel. Because you put the orange instead of the blue back there.
Yeah, man.
It's genius. Fall, it's
with
like
this-
a fall pack of camels.
Smoking
As
in a-
long
in a
as
pumpkin
I've
patch.
been bugging you about it, if it was anything less than brilliant, I was gonna be upset. But it is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Thanks.
It's a throwback camel pack. Like
Yeah, it's based on a 1950s pack.
Yeah, that's a throwback. Yeah, that's not. You didn't get that bright orange in the last several years.
No, but the borders remind me of camel.
These borders? There it is again.
Yeah.
looks really good.
What a treat.
And it has Wes saying what a treat. Wow.
I don't know if you guys noticed this up top. The tax stamp says made by Hard Factor.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Little
Attention
Easter
to
egg.
detail. Jesus.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so
That's
Great
the
job.
show.
Great job.
Nice
might
work.
want to check that
That's
out.
the show for today. We got the shirt.
You got to check that out. You got to go to store.hardfactor.com to check out the shirt. You got to go to patreon.com/hardfactor to listen to Half a Pack with Wes, the podcast. So if you want to get in on either of those, which you should, they're great. Anything else, boys? Let's do the news. Was that? You have something?
I was gonna say there's got to be something more about me that we can talk about. I don't know.
It's not about you, bro. It's about the design that you happen to be featured in.
I know.
Okay?
It was a joke. It was a joke.
All right.
All right, let's do the news. Cup of coffee in the big time is up first.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Holidays, history, and trending news. And with this list of holidays right here, I don't got time for fun facts or birthdays today.
Jesus.
The holidays on September 15th, 8-track tape day, butterscotch cinnamon pie day, felt hat day, google.com day, Greenpeace day, International Day of Democracy, International Dot Day, LGBT Center Awareness Day, Make a Hat Day, National Caregivers Day, National Cheese Toast Day, National Creme de Menthe Day, National Double Cheeseburger Day, National Linguine Day, National Neonatal Nurses Day, National Online Learning Day, National Rehabilitation Day, National School Backpack Awareness Day, National Thank You Day, Someday, Tackle Kids Cancer Day, and World Afro Day.
Come on, was someday slipped in on the busiest day?
Someday.
That's some nerve, is what someday has.
It's a bit of a thank you, Will. First of all, thank you.
Goodness.
Bit of a slap in the face to National Tackle Kids with Cancer Day.
Yeah.
Right? It's a weirdly worded one, isn't it? Tackle the kids with cancer.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Tackle kids cancer, but yeah, I mean, it's
Is that like that Peyton Manning SNL sketch where he's pegging it at the cancer kids?
or yeah, like when the
Football
Detroit
game?
Red Wings.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
South Park.
Yeah, South Park. Was that
Yeah.
Make a Wish or was that? No, that was just.
Yes, because his
Was it?
wish was to not have cancer. I think was the. I don't know. I think he just. Yeah, I don't know. He kept asking his coach that though.
Oh.
Cancer
guys,
is tough because of the whole Norm Macdonald thing.
It is tough. We're gonna keep talking more about cancer later.
You guys linguine guys or spaghetti guys?
What's the difference?
Yeah, all
One
of the
is
above.
thinner.
Oh, linguine's the
Linguine's
fat.
like thick. Yeah.
It's almost like a Mongolian.
It's like it's in between
noodle.
a fettuccine and a spaghetti, I believe.
I love all types of pasta. You know,
spaghetti.
Farfalla bow tie, the round ones, the
Yeah.
Rotini.
hollow
I know
ones,
we all like
rotini.
them all, but if you had a choice,
I don't know
Spaghetti,
anything
linguine.
about linguine. So
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
a
ahead with
linguine
say spaghetti.
Alfredo and then spaghetti and meatballs. It just depends on the plate, sir. Give me a fucking
fettuccine
break.
Alfredo,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Fettuccine Alfredo, you need linguine.
Fettuccine.
Delicious.
Whatever, same fucking thing. It's thick.
Delicious Italian.
Stupid
food.
question.
This is making me want to go to the fridge and just break
Or
out
just
the
shovels it
Parmesan
in.
cheese.
Yeah, depends on the sauce and the meats and the whatever.
Yeah, all right, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Mark's particular about his Italian fare.
No,
Please.
not at all. Is the
Yeah,
thing.
no, Mark.
That's them the opposite.
Oh,
Just
just
give
say you're
it to me.
taking in. You'll take
I'll-
any of it.
I'll go to the Olive Garden. I'll try all of them. I'll
You're
have one
offended
of
by
all.
Wes even asking which pasta
Correct.
you'd prefer more because
Yeah.
you love them all
That's
that
it.
much.
That's
It
correct.
is kind of
I got
asking like which sandwich, how does a sandwich taste best when it's cut, right? Like, you like a sandwich taste when you take the the crust
Right.
off. You like the sandwich taste when it's cut in a corner. It's all the same.
It's just about the
Well,
quality of the dough, right?
Look
for
at
pasta.
macaroni and cheese. You know,
basically.
you don't want to make macaroni and cheese with spaghetti, do you? I mean, I'm sure it'd be good, but there is a preference there.
Why not?
Macaroni.
All I know is fresh pasta way better than box
And
pasta.
you didn't ask, what do you like your macaroni and cheese better with, macaroni or linguine or spaghetti? You said, what do you like better, linguine or spaghetti, which
wow.
is just a ridiculous question.
I personally like spaghetti better.
Okay.
It twirls.
Blanket
better.
statement. You like
It,
spaghetti.
it, it twirls
Okay.
better.
Okay.
It's all about the twirl on the fork. You guys use the spoon? Do you twirl into the spoon?
Of course.
I mean,
Wow.
if I'm at $1,000 restaurant, maybe.
No, I don't
Use
use. I
my
don't go to the
fingers.
spoon. You're gonna get your twirl gets too big when you use the spoon. If you
Yeah.
twirl it onto the spoon, then you have more than a mouthful on there.
Oh, so now we got a problem with how much pasta we're eating.
Well, it's a
I
lot.
think we do.
It's a lot.
Got us.
It's a good point, Pat. That's why you can join us in the Fatathon, current Fatathon going on. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. Today in history, in 1821, September 15th, Central American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua were granted independence from Spain. So big day for Central American independence. In 1862, Stonewall Jackson won the South's largest victory at Harper's Ferry in the American Civil War before the Union, obviously, won the rest of it. And in 1916, the tank was used for the first time in combat by the British in World War I.
Oh, they
Had to be a
won
sweet
that
feeling.
battle. Yeah. That probably scared the shit out of whoever they were up against.
Imagine trying to describe that,
Yeah.
like going back to your commander and be like,
General.
There's an unbeatable force coming at us.
a dude riding a fucking dragon, man.
Some guy just ran and didn't stop running. He went AWOL.
I got to draw it for you, boss.
Luckily, the tank probably was like very inaccurate because I can't imagine that the guns were like super accurate on it. Like, you know, for the very first one, but still terrifying nonetheless. Okay, trending news. Honorable mentions up first. There's still about 100 Americans trapped in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, according to Secretary Blinken. So that's really bad. Just wanted to. It's not trending these days, but just wanted to bring it back up again because, you know, it's worth a mention. On a much lighter note, 2 more Met Gala outfits to discuss that we missed. They were going down as we were taping yesterday's show. So first up is Dan Levy. Is this Eugene Levy's son?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There's Dan Levy. You see he's wearing, looks like a woke kindergartner designed this. He's got like a map as his pants, trash as his shoes, and then people kissing on his chest. Is it 2 men? Is it not? Is it nondescript?
Say what you want about it. Those map pants. Fuck.
I do
Yeah,
like the map
individually.
pants individually, yeah.
Individually, probably. So
So-
he's also wearing like a map. What is
your
that
living
called?
room.
Like a frilly cape on his back. I don't know.
It's like like
pump?
butterfly wings kind of, but it looks
Yes.
like Seinfeld's puffy shirt, except
Yeah.
Also a map.
colored and like
so
Hulk size.
there was it's Hulk arm map, puffy shirt. So there was a theme. It was like Americana. So that's why it's an American style map probably.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
The theme was like
Incredible.
USA. That's why some people dress like the Statue of Liberty. No, this is a terrible outfit, but a lot of people like dressed in American style
Stunning.
clothing.
You know how
Because
this
that's the
happens?
theme.
Absolutely stunning.
This happens when
How did he put that on?
So carefully.
well they go to
No, dude, you can't put that on and look in the mirror and then like walk out to an event. You got
well, he had to because he wasn't looking in the mirror. He was looking the designer in the eyes, who was like, "You like it, right?"
Yeah.
This is what happens. You ever go to your barber and say, your barber's like, "What do you want?" And you're like, "You're the artist here. You do it. You work your magic. I'm not going to tell you how to make your own art." That's how these things happen. They give no constraints to the
But
designers.
Will's right. He still had to walk out of the fucking office.
Yeah, I feel like you could just like put a jacket on. Like a lot of other men wore black suits, which I saw people complaining about. Okay, next one, AOC. This one like really fucking trended. Happened as we were taping. Tax the rich. She has written on the back of her white dress, and it looks like a Chick-fil-A color combo, basically.
It
White,
does.
white with the bright
Eat
red.
Eat more rich.
Right. Eat more rich. She also said that she was working class along with the designer of the dress in an interview at the Met Gala.
So she
you
was
were
in
attending.
college.
I can
when
tell
she
you
was
your
a
tone
bartender.
here. What's your beef here, Will?
Well, those are just 2 working class women, Pat, out there, advocating for taxing the rich on a dress at an event that costs $30,000 to attend.
I don't know
35.
that she paid for it. She didn't pay for it. But I do have to say this. She did grow up in Westchester. I know what she's saying, but the facts are she grew up in Westchester.
She's saying, she's saying tax me.
Yeah.
Tax.
Oh,
me.
yeah, she's saying tax her. Yeah, she's in
Because she's rich and she will
Not
be for the rest of
rich.
her life. Well,
She's
she's
probably
a
worth
20, what? She's a 20-something-year-old
She's rich.
congresswoman, and she's rich for the
I feel
rest
like
of
you
her
make
life
your
now.
Congress
sure.
money later.
Oh no.
No,
She's
not
got
her.
she's gotten some checks and some
I think that everyone at the Met Gala, I think that the waiters at the Met Gala are rich.
Call her AO check. You know?
Mark, actually the waiters were the only ones who had to wear masks. That's
Oh.
that's what happens at the Met Gala.
But I imagine a waiting gig at the Met Gala is like a $5,000 night.
You probably get tipped pretty well for being the only person who has to mask
You'd
up.
think that, bro, but let's be honest. You think that the best waiting gigs are right at the very top, and they're absolutely not. They're 2 steps down from the top because at the top, no one tips.
Yeah, Met Gala was an embarrassing event, honestly. Lots of bad press coming out of it.
174K a year for a congressperson.
And all those, a lot of companies
That's
really
not
like your
bad.
time. They like your time, you know. They like your time, and they'll show you a good time too. Lots of
Free
lobbyists, and
flights, free tickets to the Met
I mean,
Gala.
there's a lot of good perks
Free meals
to
at
being
the
a
cafeteria.
congressperson. Yeah,
Accepting gifts at a certain amount. You know,
pretty nice.
stay
But
within
she's
the
working
rules.
class,
Wink,
guys.
wink.
Working class woman advocating for taxing the rich.
I feel like the
Working
Met Gala
class.
was probably a success. It's not really our style, you know. It's not
Nah,
really
it sucked.
our-
Number 3, General Milley. From the Washington Post. You guys know General Milley of the Joint Chiefs of Staff?
Of course, General Milley, dog.
Yeah, of course, General Milley. In an advertisement article for the new book Peril from the Washington Post writer Bob Woodward, WAPO released this article with a lot of salacious details from the book that's coming up. And one of those details is, in a pair of secret phone calls, General Mark A. Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, assured his Chinese counterpart, General Li Zusheng of the People's Liberation Army, that the United States would not strike China, even if then President Trump ordered it. Milley told China that he would warn them first. One call took place on October 30th, 2020, 4 days before the election. And the other call took place on January 8th, 2021, 2 days after the Capitol riots. Milley also allegedly made the other Joint Chiefs swear to him that they wouldn't allow Trump to invoke the nuclear codes without his involvement. So
Wasn't Pelosi heavily involved in all this as well? Yeah.
Yes, she is, Wes. I'll get to that in a second. So,
Okay.
of course, it turned out that none of that was necessary, since Trump didn't call for a military strike on China or try to launch nuclear missiles before leaving office. And WAPO defends Milley's actions as something that was necessary to make sure Chairman Xi wouldn't attack us out of the blue in retaliation for Trump talking shit. And that, Wes, is where Nancy Pelosi is also involved, where she was calling Milley and steering him, it seems like, to do, you know, she was trying to get him to do what she wanted or to take control of the situation.
Get the codes out of his hand, basically.
Weird as fuck. And
Yeah.
General Milley is now getting clowned as a traitor on Twitter.
Okay. Are you saying though that Trump is not a wild card?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm
Because he's
saying
a
is
fucking wild card.
well, sure. What I'm saying though is that what Milley did was against the chain of command.
Totally get that. Makes us look weak, no doubt about it. But there was a goddamn wild card in the office.
Well, sure, but Pelosi and Milley got caught doing what they did by the Washington Post. Now he's getting clowned as a traitor by the internet. Greg Price tweets, Milley, after hanging up his phone call with the Chinese, and it's Milley's head on one of the Bluths, the dad Bluth from Arrested Development. He said, I may have committed some light treason, telling Jason Bateman that. Because, that's basically what that is.
Milley's an idiot. Milley told too many people. Milley should have done that, not gotten caught. What an idiot. How do you get caught? How do you
Well,
get
he got caught.
there?
He got caught.
What's he
and
doing
there's
calling China
there's
and saying...
There's a book coming out about it, Mark. There's transcripts of the calls. In fact, there's more memes. Here's one where they say little Benedict Milley, and it's G holding a baby, except instead of the baby, it's General Milley's head, and that is pretty appropriate.
But
Even the Trump whistleblower, Vindeman, is saying that Milley needs to resign if this is true.
I mean, yeah, totally. But just so I get it right, to
he's
why
calling
people
China,
are
yeah,
actually mad.
that's
Let
not-
me,
He did.
let me get this right, because I want to get it right. Right? People are actually mad because you can't undercut the leader, right? That's why the people are saying,
Commander in
like,
Chief is
Yes.
over the,
Right.
the leader of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
And
This
over
would be like,
Pelosi
Pat,
as well.
it's like if a general in China called us and talked to our president and said, hey, President Trump or President Biden, depending, he's like, hey, Xi, he's a crazy guy, but I'll call you and warn you if he's planning on attacking you. I promise you that.
right.
That wouldn't, what if Xi found out about that?
Well,
That
it's just
wouldn't-
weak. It's weakness.
wouldn't fly
It's
over
showing
well,
weakness. The saddest part, guys.
But isn't that
this-
maybe just a symptom of like
No, it's
how
weakness,
weird
Pat.
shit was?
Pat,
I agree. It shows.
it's
I
weakness.
agree. It's weakness.
It's
I agree
100% weakness. And the
But maybe it
saddest
needed to be
part,
done.
the saddest part, it didn't, because he didn't try to launch the nukes. He didn't try to attack China. The
wild
saddest
card.
part, it's weakness. The saddest part, apparently, more weakness here. Xi has turned down Biden for an in-person meeting that Biden requested of Xi last week. So Milley and Biden have been trying to suck up to China since Trump left, and they're still getting snubbed for it. Weakness.
Where'd you see he was
Weakness.
turned down? Where'd you see he was turned down the
The
thing?
Financial Times reported that on Tuesday.
Financial Times.
Yeah.
Where are they on the bias chart? Because we're at 0.0.
They are behind a paywall on the bias chart. I'm not
Okay.
sure where that stands. So just it's not great. Not great. Number 2.
I mean, he got strong armed by Pelosi. That's what happened.
Milley, it looks like Milley
the
did,
general
yeah.
got strong armed by Nancy Pelosi.
I mean, or they were sitting there being
that's
like,
pretty shitty.
bro, this guy's a fucking wild card, right? Yeah,
I think
you're
Milley,
totally right.
The
How do we-
transcript
how do
say
we
he
pro-
agrees. Like,
how-
yeah, I agree with you.
Look,
So-
I bet. Okay, I'm not saying it's okay, right? Because it does look weak and it's against chain of command. I get
weakness.
that, but I bet that Milley, right, felt probably the most pressure of anyone in his position in the history of administrations to be like, should I make sure nuclear war doesn't happen? Now, look, in hindsight, yes.
He
in
presented
hindsight, not necessary. In
a
hindsight,
non-united front. It wasn't necessary. It showed
Yeah.
total weakness. Now they're getting meetings turned down by the same
Well,
country
see,
that they were
they'll
showing
take
the weakness
meeting
to.
when they need the meeting.
Oh,
Here's
no.
the-
That's,
I don't know about
that's
the meetings.
weakness.
I'm Financial Times. We'll see. I don't know where they are on the bias chart. I'm guessing far right.
They're
But
British.
Yeah. So Brexit. I would say that he probably could have had one or two guys in his command that were below him. While he broke the chain of command internally, saying, "Let me know if Trump's about to push the buttons." He definitely should not have called China, and I don't know that he's not supposed to do that, but he definitely shouldn't have called China and multiple
probably right. Yeah,
times.
he should.
The China thing's insane. The China thing's bad. I mean, like,
Well,
hey, I got your back.
You
I'll
guys
let you know.
don't think that Trump can just push a button, though, right? I mean, that's not really how
Well,
it
it's
works.
not-
has to get
it
involvement
sounds
from
like
the other
Milley
Joint
thought he could.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Milley, he could have done it without Milley demanded that he be involved.
Right.
If Trump tried to go to
president
one of the other Joint Chiefs and get it done.
I mean, he
The
doesn't have
president
a
can
magic
launch
button in
nuke-
his office, though.
They
So
can
basically,
launch
Milley
nuclear weapons.
circumvented the chain of command twice because he's not
Right.
supposed to call and say, "Hey, I'm going to warn you, even if my boss tells me to attack you." And he's also not to go to the other underlings and be like, "Hey, don't let him do this unless I'm there." Those are both like he's undermining the chain of command. It seems to be against what his job is.
Sounds like he
supposed to
wouldn't have
be.
had a choice anyway, though, right? I
There's a
mean,
lot of talk about people circumventing the current chain of command because the guy has dementia. The other guy's pretty old too. I'm fine with the chain of command thing. I'm not fine with the China thing.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I
We
mean,
got the football
but he
with them
did
at all
both.
times, Wes.
what's
he
that?
did-
The football's with them at all times, which is the codes. They can call it in.
I know, but
wherever you
Trump
can
needs
text.
a little. It's not like he can just say, "I want this launched right now." He needs there's other checks and balances.
As soon as I'm done golfing, I'm launching the nukes.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess what Milley's so
what I thought.
fucking paranoid.
Yeah.
He thought that was going to happen. So maybe he's also just not a great judge of what's going to happen because he thought that was imminent.
Well, he's
He's an
not a
idiot.
judge, bro. He's a general.
Right, and needs to retire. Number 2, football, the European variety. UEFA Champions League games are happening this week, and Manchester United lost to a team called Young Boys yesterday. I don't
Okay.
even know who the Young Boys are.
Okay.
You know who
So
the Young Boys are?
Yeah, I
Mark?
bet on this game. I was 1-for-2 in UEFA Champions League. The Young Boys are the 5-time reigning Swiss Serie A or Swiss national champions for the Swiss League, the top
Oh,
Swiss
good.
league.
Did you
They're,
bet on them?
Yeah, I bet on Manchester United. They were up 1-0 on Ronaldo's early goal, but then they got a red card in the first half. So that's why the Young Boys won because it was
Oh,
10
Young
on
Boys
11.
got lucky.
And yeah, they got so fucking
Lucky
lucky.
Boys.
And they're the lucky boys. Everyone's like giving them the Manchester United shit. They're playing with 10 men. But the guy who scored the winning goal for the Young Boys is a young U.S. national team player. He
Oh,
got
nice.
the game winner. Yeah. So
That's good.
yeah.
USA. Also, Bayern Munich beat Barcelona 3-0
Yes, that
on
one I had
Tuesday.
right.
That's a smash. Today, Inter Milan play Real Madrid at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and Liverpool play AC Milan. Those are some sexy matchups. The odds are pretty even for Inter and Madrid, but Liverpool is supposed to smash AC Milan according to the books.
Wow.
So that's the footy. And number 1, the cream of the crop today, as we alluded to earlier. It's rest in peace to legendary comedian Norm Macdonald, who passed away this week at the age of 61. Pretty much everybody on the internet with a good sense of humor agrees. Norm is one of the greatest comedians, of all time, basically. Legendary on Weekend Update during and after the O.J. Simpson trial. Just roasted O.J. constantly. He also played Bob Dole on SNL, made
Yes.
epic guest spots, which we'll get to in a little bit. Then after SNL, he went on to make classic movies like Billy Madison, Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, Dr. Dolittle, and of course, Dirty Work. A true comedic genius. And so instead of wasting your time with anything else, here is one of my favorite clips from Norm, an SNL bit he did where he plays Burt Reynolds. And Will Ferrell is Alex Trebek, Daryl Hammond is Sean Connery, and Jimmy Fallon is French Stewart from Third Rock from the they're all competing in Jeopardy.
That's awesome.
A classic.
He was the best.
He was the best. Some other good clips to watch if you're into like binging some Norm Macdonald are the Comedy Central special where he said you always draw with cancer. Norm passed away from a 9-year battle with cancer that he basically didn't tell anybody about. He said you always draw with cancer if you die from it. Technically, the cancer dies too, so you don't lose the battle.
Right.
With cancer was his joke.
That's correct.
Yeah. So
any late night appearance he was ever on is must watch as a guest.
The moth joke on
his
Conan.
His Howard Stern appearances. He introduced Artie Lang to Howard Stern when they were working on Dirty Work, and whenever he was on Howard Stern around that era was exceptionally funny. That's everything he did was very funny.
Pretty different type of comedian.
Yeah, a very different type of
very
comedian.
deadpan. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like almost, he had like a character, but like wasn't a character, and he would just commit. He just committed to shit.
And everyone said it was organic because he's just incredibly funny. Like he's just one of a kind funny that his brain worked a little bit differently, and it was really good.
He's really, really funny with the misdirection. Yeah. Like the moth joke on Conan, and then like that one you just heard where he's like, that's not my name. He just hits you off guard with just something that just totally like kills you.
He did a roast of deadpan jokes after everyone did like, the most dirty roast jokes on the Comedy Central roast. He went up and just did like deadpan, like PG jokes, and murdered, just like brought the house down because everyone else is doing like X-rated jokes, and then he came up and gave like PG jokes deadpan, and everyone just lost their shit. I mean, he always kills.
Yeah, if you watch, I mean, I feel like watching the Weekend Update. Like watching like 10 Weekend Updates that he did, you'll understand him because he like wasn't supposed to be in the Weekend Update chair on SNL. He's too out there for it. But
they wanted to fire him.
He made
it
work though.
He wanted to fire him.
He made it work.
Yeah, he did.
But it was just like he was a sharp edge to any like guest or potential, really anyone he covered. It was awesome.
He got fired because it was like, it wasn't for the Weekend Update, even though it was, go check him out like on YouTube because they're hilarious, his jokes. But he got fired. Then the next like year he got asked to like host, and he's like, it's funny how last year I wasn't funny enough to be in the building. Right. Tonight they're asking me to host.
Didn't they get mad at him because he went too hard on OJ?
Yeah, it was
that
the
was
OJ joke apparently that got him
A
canned.
lot of jokes. He went after the Clintons really hard. There's like a
Barbara
13-minute reel of him going after the Clintons. There's one joke where he was
that'll
making fun of,
get you kicked off.
he was making fun of Bill Clinton how he hated Hillary. Like he kept calling her a bitch. She's like Bill. He would always, and then there's one joke about how Hillary was on a plane. And,
we know which direction they're swinging. You don't want to make those jokes.
Right. He said the plane was going down because there was a frayed wire, and it almost went down because of a frayed wire that Hillary was on. And they're like, the president asked, he goes, he was outraged. He goes, he was going to look into what happened with Operation Fray Wire. And the joke is
oh man,
it was just so good. It was good.
R.I.P. Norm Macdonald, legendary comedian. And that's today's Cup of Coffee in the Big Time, which was brought to you today by Lightstream. Did you know that you could actually roll all your credit card debt into one monthly payment at a lower fixed interest rate? If you didn't, now you do. It's a great idea if you want to pay off your debt and take control of your financial future. Lower your interest rate and save with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. Rates start at 5.93% APR with auto pay and excellent credit. Plus, the rate is fixed, so it'll never go up over the life of the loan. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000, and there's absolutely no fees. You can get the money as soon as the same day you apply. Lightstream believes that people with good credit deserve a better loan experience, and that's exactly what they deliver. Just for our listeners, apply now and get a special interest rate discount and save even more. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/factor. That's lightstream.com/factor. Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.93% APR to 19.99% APR, include a 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/factor for more information.
All right. Guys, I didn't want to do this one. I really didn't. But gosh darn it, if it doesn't piss me the fuck off. I know Mr. Lombard shared this story in the Discord, and I believe he said he went to college with this girl's cousin. But the story is absolutely infuriating. It's the case of this missing girl, a Long Island girl, Gabby Petito. You guys been following this at all?
I've seen the headlines.
No idea. No.
Okay. I'm just going to play the news clip because it's kind of all-encompassing, but I've got more information for you.
That's one of the big questions tonight. Where is the boyfriend? We're outside the boyfriend's parents right now, just outside Tampa. Take a look. We know the parents are inside, but they haven't come out and they are not talking to anyone. The neighbors say the van that the couple was in was right here in the driveway, but police showed up overnight and towed it away. 22-year-old Gabby Petito was on a cross-country road trip in a van with her boyfriend.
Brian's stretching, doing some morning yoga.
The trip documented on social media until Gabby vanished somewhere near the Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. The last text to her family was August 30th. They got worried when they didn't hear from her again.
It was like day 8 and 9 that I really became concerned and figured she couldn't be off the grid for that long.
The van the couple was in was last seen here in Northport, Florida, at Gabby's boyfriend's parents' house. Police towed the van away to be processed by the FBI and say Gabby's boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, is not talking.
I think most people would think that.
Okay, so you get the idea.
Yeah, he killed her, it sounds like.
He killed her. I mean, that's what it fucking sounds like, but I don't understand this. I wish Cam was on because this guy is just holed up in his parents' house in Florida, right? This girl disappears. Her mom gets a text from her like on the 30th of August, and they don't. She tells the news she's not even sure it was her daughter that was texting her, because
It
the
never
last time,
is in these murder situations. If yeah, it never is.
right. So and she was all over social media. Like, here's her Instagram page. She's sharing pictures of them like having this great time at different national parks, beautiful locations. They're in love. I guess they were engaged. Apparently they're like fiancé or whatever.
It's case closed.
Right.
It's as simple as if he really loved her and was interested in her being found, he would tell people her last whereabouts and ask for help.
Exactly.
What's your legal question, Wes?
I don't understand how they can't just drag this fuck out of his house.
They need enough evidence to arrest him or subpoena him.
Correct. It's because they know he's guilty and they're trying to collect the evidence, and everyone knows he's guilty, and he's not talking because he knows he's guilty.
Yes, he's just going to stay in the house till he gets arrested.
Yeah.
I mean, not fuck it up is right, man. Look, Bill Cosby literally is popping a fucking Rohypnol or whatever.
Well, but that's because the previous person had made a deal with him that he wouldn't get.
My point is, it's because our legal system's fucking jacked up.
Yeah,
so police
got to be careful.
Yeah, they got to be so careful before charging him because
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So she was last seen, I guess, August 24th, checking out of a hotel in Utah, and then just silence. And like her parents said, they talked to her, or probably him texting her on the 30th. Then they reported her missing on 9/11, and they, like the news said, they're somewhere in Teton National Park is where they think she was last. And this guy just fucking hightailed it out of the Tetons or wherever the fuck they were, back to Florida. His parents and him lawyered up. He's not cooperating with police, and then he put out this.
Damn, so he's gonna have some kind of story about like.
Oh, well, he might be making up his story right now.
For sure, with the lawyer, with the legal
his story
team.
is she just disappeared.
Yeah,
right, disappeared. I don't know where she is.
Not wanting people to help find her is like an admission of guilt.
Right, that's the thing. Is not he's not saying exactly where she was last seen at all, and this has gone on for since they reported her.
But he's
missing.
going to claim though that it's on the advice of his lawyer,
right? Well,
because he knew what happened.
He immediately chooses to start playing the technical game of getting away with murder if he is in fact the murderer, versus at least pretending that he cares what happened.
Oh
to
my
his
God,
girlfriend.
let's find her. I love her. Let's find her. I'm so distraught. None of that.
Clear. Well, he's probably just not a good enough actor. So they're keeping him fucking behind closed doors, like that Chris Watts guy who killed his kids
Great
and his
actor.
wife. He was they kind of like, now that you look back at it, they kind of knew that if you watch the documentary, they like the neighbors were like, he's not normally like this, like he's acting really weird.
He was acting too nice.
Yeah, he's
but
acting.
They also the main thing that got him was the garage door opening at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that the neighbor's video. Yeah, that was
video of that,
I mean, they knew he did it. Yeah. But anyway, so finally, after like 4 days, or 3 days, this fucker Brian Laundrie finally puts out a statement after just being silent from his lawyer, and it says, quote, "I understand that a search has been organized for Miss Petito." He calls her Miss Petito, first of all.
Ex-girlfriend, his girlfriend.
Yeah, his fiancé. In
Miss
or near
Petito?
Yeah, instead of like, I understand they're looking for. I understand they're looking for Gabby. You know, I hope they find her.
Bullshit. It's lawyer.
I know it's lawyer bullshit. So, Grand Teton National Park. On behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. On the advice of counsel, the Laundrie family is remaining in the background at this juncture and will have no further comment. Yeah.
Laundrie is clean.
He ends with they'll never find her though.
Right. Yeah. So meanwhile, her family is just like not being able to sleep, not being able to eat. Like her dad must want to drag this fucker out in the middle of the lawn and just beat the fucking information out of him.
Sure. But
they put out a statement after this bullshit statement that says the Schmidt and Petito family are going through the worst moments of their lives. Their beautiful 22-year-old daughter is missing, and the one person that can help find Gabby refuses to help. Brian Laundrie was traveling with Gabby in the Grand Teton Yellowstone area. They were traveling together in Gabby's 2012 Ford Transit van. This is where we believe Gabby was last seen. Brian is refusing to tell Gabby's family where he last saw her. Brian is also refusing to explain why he left Gabby all alone and drove her van to Florida. These are critical questions that require immediate answers. So this guy is guilty as sin.
It has to be. If you think about it logically, even if you know the legal system and you're worried you might get in trouble, that's not your first thought when your fiance goes missing. Your first thought is how to find her, try to help find her.
Right.
He didn't do any of the
He didn't call the police. No.
He would have called the authorities, right?
Yeah.
He's a sociopath.
If he was trying to stage it as a murder trying to stage it as an accident smartly, he would have had to have contacted local authorities, right? To make it seem like an accident. He wouldn't just drive straight back to Florida.
It seems like at a minimum he knows how she died, and it probably wasn't. It was probably not like he probably could have helped prevent it, if not 100% prevent it.
Right. It could have been like an argument where he pushed her and she somehow
fell off
something
a
bad
cliff,
happened.
Fell off a cliff, some accident, but
they were like what in a park? Yeah. So
they were all over there. They were in the national parks. Like I mean, they were walking around these huge boulders.
Lots of big rocks out there.
Yeah.
No, there's no option other than, I mean, the only thing he could say, right, is, well, look, people do get convicted of murder when they talk to police, even though they didn't do it. But then to that, I would say, well,
how does she know she's dead?
Is you risking getting convicted of a crime you didn't commit more important than contributing to finding her alive?
It's not. And how does she know she's dead, Pat? That's
exactly,
the thing. It's like,
bro.
If
that's why you'd be a good detective. I've always said that about you, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, so, God forbid they find her and it's what we all think, then the evidence points that he just murdered her versus it was an accident. It just infuriates me that he can just sit back in his fucking house.
Guilty of something.
Well, on the other hand, the dad, this is his shot, honestly. This is his shot because, like, worst case, he's going to do 2 years for kicking the door in and grabbing the guy and beating his head into the wall until he talks or doesn't talk. That's 2 years tops, which if you're a dad, I mean, small price to pay, right? Because you're not going to get that shot once he gets put in custody. You're going to have to hire a hitman.
You also want to be 100%. You want to be 100% certain in that scenario. I think he's probably 99.
Oh, this kid deserves a tooth losing beating either way.
Yes, he deserves a beating either way. Yes,
absolutely. I'm surprised that there hasn't been like attempts on this guy's house yet. Like, what's the even not by the dad, but by whatever friends.
They're coming. They're coming. Police were out there, and the parents shooed the police away. There's video of the police serving some kind of paper to them. There's also talk about this people are trying to make this Instagram message they wrote a year ago, this cryptic message where he says, till death do us part, or until I wake up. My biggest fear is that one day I'll wake up and it will have all been a dream, because that is what every second has felt like since the moment we found each other. I think that just sounds like a sappy message. They're trying to turn it into some cryptic thing. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. We're gonna get to the bottom of it soon, hopefully, because hopefully they find maybe.
Sounded like he ripped off some lyrics to a song there, if you ask me.
He was just trying to. He was just trying to get laid that night.
He was. Yeah,
Mark, that actually happened in one of my favorite true crime murders. That it was Eve 6 lyrics.
That's what that sounded like. That sounded like Eve 6 lyrics.
Hard in your blender thing.
Yeah, it turned out to be Eve 6 lyrics that the guy posted on his Facebook.
Yeah. So there's a picture of her again. Keep hope alive. Call the FBI 911 with any information, but.
Poor Miss Petito.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's so infuriating because it's been all over the front page and this guy's just not fucking saying anything. Driving me nuts. Okay, sorry. Let's talk about full board barbecue, shall we?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Full board barbecue is proof the American dream is still alive when you have a superior product mixed with unstoppable work ethic. What started with a group of high school friends trying their hand at a local barbecue competition has turned into the company that is trusted everywhere. It is known to make you the star of your backyard. Their sauce and rub combinations might as well be peanut butter and jelly. Classic favors with that extra something that puts them over the top with a wall of trophies and hardware to prove it. Over 30,000 units sold and enjoyed nationwide in the past year alone. Best rubs and sauces you'll ever allow to tickle your taste buds. One small business, us trying to help another, full bore, and vice versa. Can be found at 300 retail stores. Check website for location information and read their story and check out their unique recipes on the website. Rub it in. Follow them at Full Bore on Instagram at Full Bore BBQ Products for fan features and Full Bore BBQ to see more of their work. Full Bore is offering our listeners, because this guy is actually a member of the Hive. This is the official barbecue of Hard Factor. 10% off your entire order using promo code Factor. So stop forcing down that sweet baby raise and support a fellow Hard Factor listener by visiting fullborebbqproducts.com. That's Full Bore like the pig bbqproducts.com to order yours today, and let's barbecue everything.
It's delicious. I've been rubbing it in almost as much as I've been rubbing it out.
Yeah. I'm just sitting over here just freebasing their garden barn and river rub, just smelling it. It's delicious.
Get you some foil and baste that shit. Mark just put masturbation and barbecue together for me, and I'm really not happy about it. But
it's time for the TikTok International Moment.
oh, hell yeah. Let's take it to Mexico, y'all. If you play the lottery in Mexico, then get ready to shake the dust off los números de suerte. Yeah, because the former safe house of drug kingpin El Chapo Guzman will be soon given away in a national lottery. That's nice. Loteria. Yeah, this particular safe house is best known for being surrounded by Mexican Marines back in February of 2014, right before that slippery El Chapo escaped via a trap door under his bathtub and into an elaborate tunnel system he'd constructed. So that's pretty cool.
Well, that would be the best house for hide and seek ever.
It would be sick. Yeah. You might hide and never get found.
Yeah, you die. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you might get the hatch falls.
Too efficient.
No one will find you. Yeah.
Or find a stack of hundreds.
True.
You never know. That could be a bonus, guys. The Marines apparently did a number on the property while searching for the world's most notorious drug lord, so some repairs were necessary. In recent weeks, Mexico's Institute to Return Stolen Goods to the People gave Casa in Culiacan a fresh coat of white paint inside and out. They tiled over the spot in the bathroom where the tub and tunnel entry point had been, and they brought in a priest to exorcise all the trapped souls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely some dead people in there. Did they cover up the bullet holes too, or
Yeah, I'm assuming so. They just said paint, but you got to have a wall there to paint it. No amount of paint will get rid of this. Anyway, okay.
Also, they're never going to stop people from using those tunnels. No matter how many times they cover them up, they're just going to get opened back up again.
Have you ever been in a house with a
I
tunnel?
agree.
The first thing you ask the person when you get in their house is, "Where's the tunnel?" Like,
Right? Yeah. So
so
like
you can seal it up.
whoever's in this house next is opening up the tunnel.
I was in that house one time that allegedly had a tunnel from the hill up above the Comedy Store in Los Angeles down to the Comedy Store, and like there was a party there. All we did was the whole party was like try to find the crawl spaces and shit so we could find the fucking tunnel. It's all we did.
You know what, Wes? Metal detector in that tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
This
Be pretty
also
good.
proves like how little Mexican people give a fuck about like museums and like house tours, because this would be a perfect house to make a museum, like Elvis's house. Like that'd be great for a tour.
Like what they did with Alcatraz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about the fucks given, more the
No, they don't care.
the money had. According to the Associated Press, guys, the house was well located for its previous purposes. There is only one neighbor on one side, and on the other side is a subterranean storm sewer system about 5'6" tall and about 36 inches in width. The 2,800 square foot house features reinforced steel doors, iron barred windows, and every room is outfitted with a floor drain. So that's convenient.
Oh no, that's how much killing was going on in this house.
No, I'm kidding.
He's making some jokes about the
man.
exorcism in this floor, but probably
The floor drain though.
Probably.
Wow.
Don't you want to live in the
You
house
just had a
of
blood
Mexico's
drain going on. in every
most
room?
notorious killer? Yeah, guys, the the home is valued at $180,000, and tickets are $12 a piece. Now there are 22 total properties as part of this giveaway in the lottery. No word on how many tickets are being sold and what the odds are, but I think it's safe to say you have at least as good of a chance of having been murdered by El Chapo, which, for the record, is 1 in 43,000. Proceeds will go to Mexico's Olympic athletes who have not already been murdered by El Chapo.
That's the most corrupt lottery I've ever heard. There's
Is
no
El
way.
Chapo still alive?
Yeah, he's alive. He's trying to make deals with the feds from inside.
He's so little, so tiny.
He's 5'6", exactly.
Piece
Yeah.
of shit.
He's gonna be mad when they learn that they got rid of his blood drains.
Yeah.
You stopped up my drains.
You don't think he's gonna rig the lottery to have it be all his boys winning back the tunnels?
So
So he
corrupt.
Yeah,
could
all
win
his
it.
boys are getting every tunnel back.
They did. Man, I didn't realize this about El Chapo because like the famous tunnel was the one that he escaped from the prison, but that was after this tunnel. Like people, Chapo just like he's a tunnel guy, and somehow he kept fooling them. Let's take it to Finland, guys. You may have heard of the old adage, "Don't mess with Mother Nature," and thought to yourself, yeah, but why? And that's exactly what Finnish researchers thought when they introduced caterpillars of the beautiful Glanville fritillary, which is a butterfly, a beautiful butterfly, to the Finnish Åland archipelago, Wes, as part of a study of how the emerging butterflies would disperse across the landscape. And again, who's paying for this science? That's a study? This is like donating to feed stray dogs and cats instead of feeding the children. Get your priorities right, science. I mean, unless I missed it and cancer and AIDS aren't still a thing.
I mean, yeah, there's the big three, and then everything else shouldn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
well,
saying?
I guess, yeah, do your butterfly studies, and you're going to get served right. Yeah, these big brain wasting nerds totally had their plan backfire on them. Some of the caterpillars, guys, contained a parasitic wasp called the Hyposoter horticola, which bursts from the caterpillar before it can pupate and become a butterfly. So there's wasps inside the caterpillars.
It's terrible. It's like when you're trying to take a coronavirus from a bat and infect it on a humanized mouse and stuff. I mean, it's terrible.
Well, if you think that's bad, Will, and if you thought that this was bad enough, then just listen up, because living inside those wasps was another, even tinier, rarer parasite wasp called the hyperparatoid wasp. And that little wasp that lives inside the bigger wasp that lives inside the caterpillars kills the parasitic wasp, the bigger one, around the same time that the wasp kills the caterpillar, and then emerges 10 days later from the caterpillar's carcass.
Nice. Victorious.
And that's not the worst of it. See, inside the female versions of the bigger wasps is yet another bacterium called the Wolbachia pipinitis that somehow increases the susceptibility of the bigger wasps to being taken over by the tinier wasps, who can only even exist inside the bigger wasps. So, like, fuck, it's not good. Turns out that all these parasites have, quote, superior flying skills, and are now being found on all the other islands. And now the whole archipelago has like a Russian doll nightmare wasp problem and no fucking butterflies. Damn.
That sucks.
Sucks, man.
Your joke earlier reminded me of Norm Macdonald joke. You're talking about the scientists curing like cancer and stuff like that. And Norm Macdonald's like, yeah, I mean, it's great that scientists are working on diseases, but shouldn't they be working on like curing death?
Right.
He's like,
First.
he's
That was
like,
that same one where you ended it with the cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, so
That's
like, I got this disease and the doctor cures it. And I go, oh, great. Thanks, doc. Am I still going to die? He goes, oh, yeah, you're going to die.
R.I.P. Norm, man. Guys, I can't believe that they did this. I mean, I learned about the consequences of doing shit like this over the course of 2 hours back in 2004. I'm sorry, you guys were there while I was watching the Ashton Kutcher, Amy Smart classic, The Butterfly Effect. These guys are butterfly doctors and clearly haven't even seen that movie. It's fucking stupid.
They got to nuke these wasps.
Yeah, it also reminds me of a joke from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that science is a bitch sometimes. You know, I think that these over-testing people, they're just really flirting with disaster.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Don't do it. Let's take it to the Arctic, guys, to talk about some folks that clearly did not listen to the story I just read. Here we go again. Bioscience and genetics company Colossal have announced that they raised $15 million in funding to recreate the long extinct relative to the elephant. I'm, of course, talking about the woolly mammoth or mammoth.
Yes. The woolly mammoth's coming back?
He's
this
back.
Is awesome.
He's
But
back.
no, you can't bring him back at the height of global warming. If global warming is happening, why are you going to bring the woolly mammoth back?
They
It's a
like
bad
it
time.
cold. They like it cold, right?
Yeah, you got to get it cold before you bring him back.
That's
Yeah,
kinda
I mean,
cool.
I'll be all right.
So
Will's
like
got a
bring back the
point there.
saber-toothed tiger, all of his hair falls out. Like, I mean, the woolly mammoth, he's just going to be bald. It would just be an elephant.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying to yourself,
With
wait
tusks,
a minute.
With like different style tusks, right? No,
Just bigger.
No, it's just same.
That is
Similar.
bigger
Same.
tusks.
He's just going to turn into an elephant.
Aren't we in a warming trend? Similar to the last warming trend that
Listen,
took
it's
place
still very
Right,
cold.
that killed the woolly mammoths, right?
10,000 years ago, right about
Yeah.
the time the woolly mammoths died out.
Right, yeah. Yep.
What if we gave
Right,
a couple elephants toupees and called them woolly mammoths?
That
Guys-
would be awesome.
That would be funny.
Don't worry about the warming, okay? Don't worry about it. George Church, a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School, who's pioneering this technology and thinks he's too smart to be told no, spoke to The Guardian, saying, quote, "Our goal is to make a cold-resistant elephant, but it is going to look and behave like a mammoth, not because we are trying to trick anyone, but because we want something that is functionally equivalent to the mammoth and that will enjoy its time in negative 40 degrees Celsius weather and do all the things that elephants and mammoths do." So don't worry.
Jurassic Park.
These
Yeah.
assholes plan on releasing these beasts on Earth to the bountiful and rich landscapes of the Arctic Tundra.
It's an Ice Age Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
Sounds like a mammoth.
Yeah, but guys, not just so they could be elephants. They're not just going to let them be elephants up there. They also have a job, which is knocking down Arctic trees in Arctic grasslands in the hopes of preventing permafrost thawing.
So they're gonna put them to work right away.
Yeah, these
These
guys
are
ever heard of a fucking
genetically engineered employees.
chainsaw?
Bulldozers, yeah.
Get a
That's
chainsaw,
insane.
dude.
No, but the humans can't survive up there, so they need the woolly mammoths to do the bidding.
Too cold.
Welcome back to
Machines don't work.
existence. Get those trees down,
Holy shit.
fellas.
So what? So you're telling me that we're gonna have robot helpers plus engineered clones that we're gonna use as like clone armies to do stuff? Like the future is nuts, man.
What I'm telling you, Will, is the future is going to be a lot fucking nuttier when you're proven wrong about whether or not we can survive in the Arctic, guys. Because I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit too quick to jump to
Think humans
conclusions
can do
here.
this?
But in March, we moved the elephant from the critically endangered list over from just the endangered list because of ivory poaching, right? So we could definitely use more elephants. And according to initial reports from ivory poachers who just bought jackets, they agree.
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah, you think humans can't survive? Look at how bundled up a fucking ivory poacher will be running down a woolly mammoth.
How
What do
many
you
of
think
these
that
things
goes
are they
for?
going to make, Pat? And they make them from a lab?
Dude, they're going to make like 15 of them. Other scientists are saying
15 of them?
an experiment
That's not
like this
enough.
would
That's not
require
that many.
22,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You got to make an army. 22,000.
Yeah, pretty much every scientist was like, "You're an asshole, George.
It's gonna be.
You're
it's
just
gonna
an
be-
asshole."
It's gonna be like 13 tizzes and then 2 woolly mammoths.
Didn't they say they expect the first one in like 6 years, Pat? Is that right?
Yeah, in 6 years. I mean,
This
for
is
real.
a bad idea.
There's effectively, like, I read 6 opinions from other scientists. There's no functional use for these elephants whatsoever because
This reminds me
What
a
is
lot.
that? Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of AI. Like this is like a slippery ass slope, right? Like breeding clone armies is a lot like artificial intelligence. It's just going to get out of control really fast.
They better get these things to the Arctic before they become sentient because it might be a rough plane ride. They're gonna wake up and kill everything.
Dude, imagine being a fucking woolly mammoth and getting born into the same circumstances that extincted your people, and humans are hunting 10,000 elephants a year at least for ivory.
The black market on like ground up fucking woolly
mammoth
tusks is
tusk,
going to
bro?
be insane in China.
Well, imagine a mammoth penis, what that would go for over in Asia.
God.
Dude, your fucking grandkids will never get ED. You know what I mean?
Moly.
Yeah, they would.
Exactly.
Generations.
Generation of hard
erections.
dicks.
That's a guaranteed boner.
Bottle
I got
out.
that woolly.
Changes your fucking genetics, man.
Got that mammoth dick.
I got that woolly. You want that woolly?
Grandpa got that woolly.
That was not a very fun story on the mental health. And you know what? When you're in a low point, you might feel alone. But over 50% of Americans struggle with their mental health. I know the last few years have been tough for pretty much everyone, including myself. And we all need help sometimes. And asking for support when you need it is actually a sign of strength. Talkspace makes it easy to match with a licensed therapist and schedule live video sessions, all from the comfort of your device, from the comfort of your home. You can start messaging your therapist the same day you sign up, which is awesome. And whether you're a parent, a student, a millennial, or just someone having a hard day, Talkspace can provide the support to help you feel better with a single message. Talkspace offers individual and couples therapy in addition to medication prescription services. You can set goals with your therapist, and they can help you make sure that you're actually progressing. It works around your schedule, like I mentioned, and whether you're experiencing depression, anxiety, or other problems, Talkspace is the #1 online therapy platform to help you sort through any issue. Talkspace therapists are experts in dozens of specialties, including anxiety, depressions, relationships, like I mentioned, and more, to help you start feeling better. Start feeling better with a single message. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month with the promo code HARDFACTOR. That's $100 off when you use code HARDFACTOR at Talkspace.com. And okay.
Good service.
It is. Everyone take care of your mental health. It's very important. I've got a new segment for you to end the show today. Ooh. It's called Some Guys Are Losing It and Filling Up Syringes with Their Own Semen and then aggressively chasing down women in the grocery store and injecting them with said semen syringes.
Wow.
So it's kind of a
recurring one?
Yeah, well, it's pretty specific. Unless there's some copycats to 52-year-old Maryland man Thomas Stemen, this might be a one-and-done segment.
His name's Stemen?
Oh, we covered this guy, right? Stemen, yeah.
Oh,
Stemen, Semen, remember?
Yeah, it's an update.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
What's he doing?
That's like a fucked up game of Clue. It was Stemen with the semen syringe in the grocery store. Katie Peters was finishing up her normal grocery shop February of last year at Christopher Grocery Store in Edgewater.
Oh, that's right.
She was returning the grocery cart, which is something everyone should do, but not everyone does. And her good deed went very punished. Unfortunately for Katie, Thomas Stemen was nearby, and he had his sights on her, and he bumped into her, according to her reports. That's when she felt a stinging in her buttocks because Stemen had stabbed her in the butt with his semen syringe.
I remember this guy's car was something else too, right?
There's a lot. They found a lot in his car.
Yeah,
I still can't believe
this guy's car was a
his name
mess.
is Thomas Stemen.
It was a mess.
Stemen.
You don't say.
Stemen liked to set up his operations in his car.
Yeah.
Just a real chicken of the egg, you know?
Yeah, Katie. Yeah, really. Katie thought
His laboratory, he calls his car.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in the car. He's in his car a lot.
I'm mixing up another batch.
Mm-hmm. You know where I'll be.
Oh yeah. He's in the car. It's a rockin'. Don't come a knocking. Katie thought Steven bumped into her with his cigarette butt because look at this piece of shit. You know, I would think he's a smoking piece of shit that bumps into people with a cigarette too, right?
He's an angry man in that mugshot.
So she kind of like confronted him. She was like, "What the fuck?" And that's when Stemen came back up to her and said, "Yeah, it felt like a bee sting, didn't it?" With a smile on his face.
What?
Takes a long drag of his cigarette.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, if Stemen practiced on himself with the syringe, or that was a line he worked on beforehand with the bee sting thing, and he assumed a prick felt like a bee sting.
Yeah, but nurses say that when they give you a shot.
Well, then that's I guess that's where he got it from.
It's like, just a little sting.
I'd never heard it. Yeah, it's like a bee sting, wasn't it? And he was like looking around. Long story short, Katie went home and found jizz on her pants and a puncture wound in her butt cheek that got real swollen the next day and infected. And would you like to see the video surveillance of the incident?
Yes, again.
More than anything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Here comes Katie. She's returning her cart. There's a guy coming behind her that's steaming. He reaches in
Steaming.
his pocket. Boom! Right there.
Smashes her with
She's like, what happened to me? And this is where he does the beeline. He's like looking for a bee on the ground. Oh, there's a bee. There's a bee. And look at this, right close up, boom, right in the butt.
Fuckhead. Jesus.
And then he puts the syringe back in his pocket.
What a fuck up, dude. Why would he do that?
Because he's insane.
Why would he do it?
So he actually would go on into the store and attack 2 other women with a syringe. So it was a bad day at Christopher's Groceries.
He injected 2 other women as well?
I think he got 1 and missed 1.
He's missing all of them, honestly.
No, he got her.
I mean,
this one got infected.
He nicked her.
He made an injection in that.
He didn't reach his goal, which was to fully depress the plunger of semen directly into her body.
One day she'd have to be asleep though for that, right? Like, yeah.
Remember, she was waiting on the call.
8.
She was waiting on the results of that call by the phone.
A bad result. It was semen. A police search of Stemen's car and home last year turned up several syringes with unknown liquids at the time. We now know.
Did he have a tiny funnel?
We know now what was in it, and they found out after the crime lab tested liquid that it was 100% Stemen semen. And now the courts have been, you know how the courts have been backed up. The reason we're doing this story is because there's an update. The courts have been backed up with, in general, the justice system is backed up, but it's been like COVID. Well, people like have to wait years and years for their cases. Not in this case, because everyone agreed that Stemen needed to be off the street. So this one's concluded now, and the baby batter bandit will be locked up for the next 10 years.
Ooh, they got him 10 years.
Yeah, he's got 10.
He deserves 20 for that. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. You're injecting semen into people.
Yeah.
Just
kill him.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I mean, Will,
it's hitting the line where it's just like nobody wants to be around that guy ever again.
Squad.
You and me injected semen into people this year, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I hear that, man, but that's consensual.
Proper.
That's through the proper channels. This guy is just jabbing you with his semen in a neat. Nobody wants to be around that.
Was
ever.
it a cooking syringe? Do we know, or a medical syringe?
He'll do it again. That's terrifying.
Yeah. So after the 10 years, he has 5 years of probation of what's sure to be an awkward relationship with his probation officer. It's like, Thomas, what did you do today? Did you go to the grocery store? Did you put your jism in a syringe today? Where does your semen go, Thomas? That's right. It goes in your trash can or your toilet at home. Or your sock. That's fine, Thomas. Your sock's fine. Not in the syringe, right? Yeah. So, like, this guy's got 5 years of probation where the guy's just going to be asking him if he jizzed in a syringe every week.
Right. As Grady Judd would say, that's a sick puppy.
They got to tie his junk up,
Puppy. Cut it off. He also has to undergo substance abuse and a mental health evaluation and receive treatment upon his release from prison. So the son of a bitch sounds like he was drunk when he was stabbing these women if he's going through substance abuse treatment. Also,
you got to be on something to crack up the scheme to jack off into a fucking syringe.
They found some empty bottles in the car.
I hope he's
in
not
the lab.
getting high on his own supply. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, he's injected himself like the guy in Ireland. They found
something in his car and apartment that led him to believe it was substance abuse. And also, you can save everyone the time on the mental health evaluation. He's going to get an F or the equivalent of. Just go ahead and give him a C for crazy. He's stabbing people with semen syringes. That's 3 steps past sanity. Like, we don't...
He's proven it. He's already...
we don't need to give him the mental evaluation. We got it.
The test is on that video we just watched.
Yeah. Just save everyone's time. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor today. What a week it's been so far, guys.
What was that? Was that a bee? Did you step on it?
Oh my God, I heard it.
Oh, that white stuff in it. Gross.
I think I got stung too. He stabs himself.
Oh, look at its white guts.
He stabs himself. I got stung 3 times. Look,
its guts are spewing out on your pants.
That bee's full of cum.
Do you guys remember the guy that injected semen in his arm and almost lost his arm because it got so infected?
Yeah, the Irish guy.
He almost lost his arm. You can't be injected.
Wait, Mark, but was this lady safe? So they got it out of her butt?
Yeah, because like Pat said, he barely got her, but even barely getting someone with a semen syringe it caused like an infection. She had to go to the hospital to get it taken care of.
She got her blood work done.
Yeah. Ooh. She did not like.
You're not going to feel the same after having a guy's semen injected directly.
Can you imagine? She smelled her pants and she's like, I think I know what that is.
Yeah, do you think like she came
Couldn't be.
home and her spouse knew something was different about her? Like, there's something different about you.
That's terrible.
No.
Well, look, that's gonna do it for Hard Factor. We've had a hell of a week. We had a good business day for the boys yesterday and this week. Lots of awesome sponsors, right? Bird Dogs is gonna be sticking around with us for a while for pants season, which is awesome. That's awesome. Oh, speaking of clothing, half a pack with West shirts and the fall line are coming out. Look at that fucking shit. The graphic is complete. What a treat it is. Listen, we love you guys and gals, all of you that support us every day. It means the world to us and is the reason we are on episode 772 today. Whew.
So almost 777. Well, that's going to be sick next week.
There it is. So that's lucky. That's going to be lucky. Play the lotto that day.
Yeah, you could win El Chapo's murder pad.
Exactly. So thank you as always.
Trains and all.
Continue to spread the word with friends and family that we're the only 0.0 biased news source out there, and we don't make you want to jump out of a window when reading the news. Leave us those 5-star Apple Podcast reviews, please. Leave us those voicemails at 512-270-1480. And most importantly, have a great fucking day.